Welcome to the Aquaflow Crypto Lab, guys. Maybe you've been wondering why XRP is not going up like the rest of the altcoins. There is only one last thing XRP needs to do before reaching a new all-time high. In this video, we will dive into the last signal we all have been waiting for. If you're new here on this channel, we give new life to technical analysis using custom unique tools and indicators. For example, people really enjoyed my previous videos with futuristic trigonometric indicators. If you're interested, I put the link in the description. If you want to be part of this crypto lab and to make new experiments with us, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment saying that you're subscribed. I will personally respond to you. First, I have to break down how a moving average can be used. Nobody explains it like I do. You will never, ever see moving averages the same way as before. So stay focused and stay until the end. This small lesson is absolutely necessary if you want to understand the video and what prevents XRP from shooting up from a technical analysis point of view. Are you ready? I will make a tiny and fast introduction to signal theory. Imagine hitting a tuning fork. A tuning fork is a music instrument that creates perfect sine waves in the air.
Clip a simple speaker removed from its housing to an oscilloscope and demonstrate the pure tone of the tuning fork. You can also verify its frequency.
On this image, there are 4 charts. 1, 2, 3, 4. These charts are sound waves, and the tuning fork will produce a perfect sine wave like the first chart, right? Now, imagine that the room is noisy. From a signal perspective, the noise is way more chaotic, as you can see on the second chart. It seems random and have a way higher frequency than the sine wave. It means that the noise signal looks way more compressed than the sine wave above. Okay? To get the chart of the sine wave in a noisy environment, you just have to sum both the perfect sine wave and the noise. Does it make sense? And this is what represents the third chart. It's the sum of the first chart and the second chart. If you could hear the sound generated by the third chart, you would be able to hear, of course, the original sound, that is the sine wave, but it wouldn't be as pleasant to your ear because of the noise, because you would hear the noise too, right? So this is a mix between the original sound and the noise. That's why you see here the chaotic move inside the sine wave, right? Are you still alive? Stay focused, guys. We are almost done. So the noise disturbs the perfect signal. You can still see the original shape of the input signal, but there is some randomness inside it, right? So the question becomes, how can we remove the noise from the noisy sine wave so we can get our perfect original sine wave back? The solution for this is to apply what we call a filter in signal theory. There are multiple kinds of filter, and guess what? A moving average is a kind of filter. It's what we call a low-pass filter because it will take any signal as an input and it will extract only the low frequencies elements and it will remove the high frequencies ones. Do you see where I am going with this? The fourth chart is the moving average of the noisy signal just above. As you can see, it is less noisy than the previous one because the moving average smoothed the signal. That's why there is less noise into it. There are less high frequencies into it, less randomness, which means the final signal, the smoothed one, is closer to the input signal. And that's exactly what we wanted. Of course, it's not perfect, but it's way better than the noisy one. Okay? Congratulations, guys, we are done with the theory. I hope it's clear, and if it's not, take your time, ask questions in the comments, I will answer personally. Now let's go back to XRP. Can you see the price chart as a sound wave? This is getting interesting, guys. Earlier we saw 4 sound waves. 1. The sine wave input signal. 2. A noise signal. 3. A noise input signal. 4. A filtered sine wave with less noise. When you look at XRP price chart, what is it? 1, 2, 3 or 4? I give you a few seconds. Let me know in the comments if you guessed it right. Okay, let's go back to the answer. The answer is 3, of course. The price chart is a noisy signal. Why? Because if it was the input signal with only low frequencies, we would get a very smooth signal. But it's not the case. We have a lot of chaotic move just right here. You can see it, right? Like this. Lot of randomness in the chart. The noise for the sound is the same thing as the volatility in the market. The more volatility, the more noise. It's that simple. Do you get it? So if the answer is 3, we need to remove the volatility from the market, right? We need to remove the volatility from the price chart. And for that, we use a moving average. And by removing the noise from the chart, we remove the chaotic part, the unpredictable part of the chart. And what's left? Without the noise, we get the trend. The trend is the price chart without the noise, without the volatility. So, if the trend is the price chart without the volatility, the trend is the equivalent of the first chart of the input signal, okay? And by using a moving average, we try to get as close as possible as the trend of the price chart, okay? So the line is in yellow, the moving average is the fourth signal, right? Take some time to digest what I just told you. It's golden knowledge. To sum it up in one sentence, a moving average can be used as a filter to extract an estimated trend from a volatile price chart. Yet, moving averages have 2 downsides. The first one, it adds lag to the true trend. The second one, it reduces the range of the trend. That's why when you have one peak, one top here, the top of the moving average comes after it. Okay? It's the same here. You have a major low. Here, the low comes after it. That's why we say that the moving average is lagging. Okay? What about the range? You can see here, the top is here for the market, but for the moving average, it is right here, right? Right in the A critical zone. It's the same for the bottom. The bottom is right here, and the low of the moving average is right here, okay? So you see that the range is not the same. Okay, now you are moving average expert. So now you can tell me why the price stopped here without going up to the all-time high, around $3. I give you a few seconds, try to understand why. Well, I will give you the answer. From a price point of view, we didn't retest the all-time high, but from a trend line point of view, we tested the all-time high, right? You start understanding what I wanted to say? From a trend line perspective, we went right to the all-time high. And since then, we are stuck in the critical zone, which is the highest zone of the trend line. Okay? So sometimes you don't have to focus on the price, you have to focus on the trend line. So when we penetrate the critical zone, XRP wasn't ready to have the trend line reversed. And that's why the price fall down. It's because we wanted to test the critical zone with the trend line. The move right here is very similar to the current move. You see, it's the same thing, okay? A top, a bounce, we fall below it, and then we go above it, right? But what's very, very positive right now, it's that here you can see it, we didn't make a higher high, okay? Because we have one high here and a lower high. But today it's not the case, guys. We made a high here and a higher high. Okay, this is really, really great. But can you see it? The trend line is still in the critical zone. So the last thing we want to see is the trend line to cross up, to get out of this zone. And after this, guys, the moon is ours. That's all for today's video. I did not explain how to compute a moving average. If you want me to, just let me know in the comments section. If there are enough requests, I will make a video about it. I bet that after this video, you will never ever see any price chart the same way. You will always compare it to a sound wave. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to change your vision, your perspective, right? I wanted you to see charts differently. And I hope I could do it. Don't forget to subscribe. It's time to leave the Crypto Lab. Thanks for watching. Do not ever be afraid to make new experiments. And if someone tells you you're crazy, just tell them. Time will tell.